Welcome back to Lakers News Fan Report, where we bring you the latest and most exciting sports news every single day. If you're a diehard Lakers fan or simply someone who lives for NBA drama, buckle up, because what we're about to dive into could change everything. The playoffs might be underway, and the Lakers are locked into a heated battle against the Minnesota Timberwolves. But behind all the noise, behind all the game plans and rotations and playoff intensity, something bigger might already be brewing. Something that could shift the balance of power in the Western Conference. A move that might not just define the Lakers' offseason, but possibly define the twilight of LeBron James' legendary career. That's right. As wild as it may sound, there's growing speculation that the Lakers could be setting their sights on acquiring none other than James Harden from their crosstown rivals, the LA Clippers. And while on the surface that might seem like just another headline in a league full of trade buzz and free agency rumors, if you take a deeper look, this could be something very, very real. Harden to the Lakers? That sentence alone is enough to send shockwaves across the league. But how realistic is it? Why would Harden want to join LeBron and the purple and gold? How would that even work, financially or basketball-wise? And is this the kind of move that turns the Lakers from playoff hopefuls into legitimate title contenders once again? Let's walk through it together, piece by piece, and see just how real this possibility might be. Right now, all focus is on the Lakers' showdown with the Timberwolves in the first round of the playoffs. It's a series that's anything but easy. Minnesota has been one of the best defensive teams in the league all year. They're young, hungry, and disciplined. The Lakers, meanwhile, are trying to rediscover the identity that made them so dangerous during their Western Conference Finals run last season. LeBron James is still performing at an unbelievably high level. Anthony Davis is healthy, for now, and players like Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, and D'Angelo Russell have shown flashes of brilliance. But there's one thing this team is clearly lacking: a consistent, reliable secondary offensive creator who can ease the burden off LeBron and AD over a full playoff run. That's where Harden comes in. Let's be honest, James Harden's reputation has taken a hit over the years. He's been criticized for playoff shortcomings, questioned for his conditioning, and scrutinized for his trade demands and off-court distractions. But if you strip all that away and just look at the basketball side of things, he's still one of the smartest, most skilled offensive minds the game has seen in the last 2 decades. This season with the Clippers, he's proven once again that he can adapt. No longer the usage-dominant, ball-dominant force he was in Houston, Harden has embraced a more collaborative role alongside Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. He's still putting up solid numbers, hovering around 18 points and over 8 assists per game, while taking smarter shots and picking his moments. Could that version of Harden, this more mature, team-oriented version, be exactly what the Lakers need? Think about the current offensive structure of the Lakers. LeBron still initiates a huge portion of the offense. Doncic, since arriving, has shown flashes of dominance, but still needs someone to help him carry the creative load in critical stretches. Austin Reeves has taken a leap, but he's not ready to be a consistent second option against elite playoff defenses. D'Angelo Russell is streaky at best. When the game slows down in the playoffs and every possession becomes a chess match, the Lakers don't have many options beyond LeBron and AD. And that's dangerous, especially when you're playing teams like Denver, Phoenix, or Golden State. Now imagine being able to throw Harden into that mix. Someone who can break down a defense one-on-one. Someone who can run pick and rolls with Davis and create instant offense. Someone who can stretch the floor with his shooting and take over ball handling duties when LeBron needs a breather. Someone who has led the league in scoring and assists. Someone who has been battle-tested in the playoffs, even if he hasn't always delivered when it mattered most. Could this be the redemption arc of James Harden? Could the final chapter of his career be about finally fitting in, playing a role, and winning a championship not as the star, but as the piece that unlocks everything? Of course, the question becomes, how would this even work? Well, Harden holds a player option worth a jaw-dropping $70 million. That's not a number the Lakers can realistically take on without massive financial gymnastics. But if Harden declines that option and becomes a free agent, which is not out of the question, especially if he senses the Clippers are hesitant to commit long-term, then things get very interesting. A sign-and-trade scenario is possible, especially if the Clippers would prefer to get something in return rather than lose him for nothing. The Lakers could piece together a package involving players like Russell, picks, and maybe even a third team to absorb salaries. It wouldn't be easy, but it wouldn't be impossible either. There's also the more tantalizing and perhaps more unlikely scenario where Harden takes a pay cut to chase a ring. Think about it. He's made hundreds of millions in his career. He's been an MVP. He's made All-NBA teams. But he hasn't won. Could this be the point where legacy matters more than money? Could he look at what LeBron has built in LA, see opportunity to win, and decide that now's the time to bet on something bigger than himself? It sounds crazy. But then again, this is the NBA, and crazier things have happened. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. There's still the matter of fit. How would Harden really mesh with LeBron and Doncic? Would the offense become too crowded? Would the defense be too porous? Would egos clash in the biggest moments? Those are fair questions. But when you look at the personalities involved, especially the version of Harden we've seen this year, there's reason to believe this could actually work. Harden has shown he can defer. He can pass. He can set up others. He doesn't have to be the guy anymore. LeBron is the ultimate basketball brain. He'll know how to orchestrate the offense to make everyone better. Doncic, still growing, would benefit immensely from learning alongside both of them. And Anthony Davis, when healthy, remains one of the best two-way big men in the game. Yes, the defense would take a hit. Harden's never been known for locking down opposing guards. But the Lakers can scheme around that. They've done it before. With Davis protecting the rim, LeBron quarterbacking from the wing, and versatile defenders like Hachimura and Reeves rotating in, Harden's weaknesses can be masked. Especially if the offense becomes as dynamic as it potentially could with him in the mix. And let's not forget the pressure that exists right now inside the Lakers front office. LeBron doesn't have many years left. Every move, every trade, every signing, they all have to be about one thing: winning now. Pelinka knows that. Jeannie Buss knows that. The fan base certainly knows that. So if there's a path, any path to bringing in a talent like Harden and giving LeBron one last real shot at a title, you better believe they'll consider it. At the end of the day, this is about legacy. For LeBron, it's about catching Jordan. One more ring puts him at 5. That's the conversation changer. That's the historical leverage he needs to finally silence the critics. For Harden, it's about proving he's more than just a stat machine. That he can be part of something bigger. That he can win when it matters. And for the Lakers, it's about maximizing their window before it closes forever. So, could this really happen? Could we really see James Harden wearing purple and gold next season? Could this be the beginning of one of the most unlikely superstar pairings in recent memory? The answer right now is maybe. But the fact that we're even asking the question means something is brewing. Something real. But what do you think about all of this? Would James Harden be a genius addition to the Lakers roster, or is this a chemistry disaster waiting to happen? Do you believe this is the kind of swing the Lakers need to take, or should they play it safe and keep building around the current core? And that's not even accounting for the narrative element. Harden, once the face of the Houston Rockets, teaming up with LeBron in LA to chase a ring, that's Hollywood-level drama. The league thrives on these kinds of stories. The media coverage would be relentless. The ratings would spike. The arenas would be packed. It's the kind of move that turns every Lakers game into must-watch television, and you can bet the NBA would love it. Of course, timing is everything. If the Lakers want to make this happen, they have to strike while the window is still open. Harden isn't going to be a top-tier contributor forever. LeBron's clock is ticking. Davis's health has always been a concern. And teams around the league are getting younger, faster, and more athletic. The Lakers, by contrast, have to lean into their experience, their savvy, and their ability to execute in high-stakes moments. Bringing in Harden could be the final piece in that strategy. It's also worth mentioning the potential culture shift. Harden, for all his past distractions, has shown signs of maturity in Los Angeles. With the Clippers, he's kept his head down, adjusted his role, and focused on winning. That kind of attitude will be crucial in a Lakers locker room already led by professionals like LeBron and AD. If Harden is serious about changing the perception around him, this is the kind of situation where he could thrive. And what about the fans? Lakers Nation is one of the most passionate, most vocal fan bases in all of sports. They demand excellence. They expect results. But they also understand greatness. If Harden were to buy in, truly buy in, and help deliver another championship to LA, he'd go from polarizing figure to a beloved part of franchise history. That's the kind of legacy pivot few players ever get the chance to make. Let's also look at the basketball mechanics. Harden's ability to run the pick and roll is elite. He's one of the most creative passers in the game, constantly manipulating defenders and creating opportunities for his teammates. Imagine the havoc he could wreak running screen and rolls with Davis while LeBron spaces the floor and orchestrates from the wing. It's the kind of dynamic, unpredictable offense that could overwhelm even the best defenses. And in the playoffs, that matters more than anything. Every possession becomes a war. Every adjustment matters. Teams will blitz LeBron. They'll double AD. But with Harden on the floor, they can't cover everything. They can't trap everyone. Someone is going to get an open look. And more often than not, it's going to be a high percentage shot. That's what Harden brings to the table, offensive clarity in chaotic moments. Financially, the Lakers would have to get creative. They've done it before, and they can do it again. It might mean sacrificing depth. It might mean letting go of promising young players. But this is the nature of chasing titles. You don't win by being conservative. You win by taking calculated risks and trusting your stars to deliver when it counts. There's also an underrated element here. Harden knows LA. He's comfortable in this city. He's played here, lived here, trained here. There's no adjustment period. No homesickness. No off-court friction. He's already acclimated. That matters, especially when you're trying to hit the ground running with a new roster in a high-pressure environment. And think about the message this would send. To the league, to the fans, to LeBron. Bringing in Harden would signal loud and clear that the Lakers are still in win-now mode. That they're not coasting. That they're not content with just being competitive. They want to win it all. They want to hang another banner. And they're willing to make bold moves to do it. Now, to be fair, there will be skeptics. There always are. Some will say Harden isn't built for the moment. That he's never delivered in the playoffs. That his style of play doesn't mesh with championship basketball. And those are valid concerns. But this isn't about what Harden was 5 years ago. This is about who he is now and who he could become with the right leadership around him. And in many ways, there's no better leader than LeBron. His ability to elevate those around him is second to none. He's done it with young players, with veterans, with stars, and with role players. If Harden is willing to embrace the challenge, LeBron will make sure he succeeds. That's what great leaders do. They bring out the best in those around them. And let's be honest, we've seen crazier things happen in this league. Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic in Dallas. Kevin Durant and Devin Booker in Phoenix. Even Kawhi and PG teaming up in LA once seemed impossible. But in today's NBA, the unexpected has become the norm. Harden to the Lakers isn't just possible. It might be the next big domino to fall. And then there's the chemistry factor, which always becomes the elephant in the room when stars come together. Chemistry isn't built overnight. It takes trust, repetition, and selflessness. But Harden has experience in those environments. He's played with superstars before. KD, Kyrie, Russ, and Embiid. He knows what works and what doesn't. If he's willing to take the lessons he's learned from past failures and apply them in LA, this could finally be the version of Harden that flourishes under playoff pressure. The Lakers' current offensive scheme is heavily reliant on LeBron's ability to manipulate defenses. Adding Harden would not only give LeBron more off-ball opportunities, but could also prolong his career. Imagine LeBron being able to conserve energy on certain possessions while Harden orchestrates. It's a win-win, less wear and tear on LeBron, and more unpredictability for opposing defenses. And don't underestimate what this would do for Harden personally. Every player says they want to win, but joining the Lakers with all the pressure, the expectations, and the spotlight would be a true test of whether Harden is really ready to make winning his top priority. This isn't about numbers anymore. It's about moments. Legacy-defining, banner-raising moments. There's also an exciting ripple effect for the Lakers' supporting cast. A player like Harden naturally attracts attention from defenses, which means guys like Reeves, Hachimura, and even Gabe Vincent could find themselves getting more open looks, more space, and more opportunities to contribute. Harden might not average 30 anymore, but he could make everyone else around him better in ways the box score doesn't always capture. Let's say the Lakers do pull the trigger, and Harden comes to town. The training camp alone would be headline material. Every scrimmage, every quote, every clip from practice would be dissected and analyzed. The hype would be massive, but so would the pressure. And that's where you find out what a team is truly made of. Will they rise together or fall under the weight of expectations? Some might point to past Lakers super teams that didn't pan out, Dwight and Nash, or even Westbrook more recently. But every situation is different. The personnel, the coaching, the timing, it all matters. Harden is not Westbrook. Their styles, temperaments, and roles are vastly different. If anything, Harden's game is built more for this kind of partnership. He can slow the game down, make surgical reads, and pick defenses apart from the perimeter. Personally, I'm fired up just thinking about it. I know it's a gamble. I know there are risks. But if you're the Lakers and you've got LeBron James in your locker room, you don't play it safe. You go all in. Every single time. Because the window is small. The opportunity is rare. And the chance to win another banner. That's worth the risk. I can't wait to read your thoughts in the comments below. Let's get the conversation going. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to Lakers News Fan Report, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. The playoffs are heating up, the off-season rumors are getting wild, and you can bet we'll be here to cover every second of it. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Lakers!